approval of the minutes from July 9, 2025.
I have a correction. I went to the Commissioner's website for the minutes of that meeting on the last one, where they had amendment to the resolution. And then I had a chance to talk to Abe about it. On the, let's see, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th line down. This should end at, taken at 3-2, the resolution was amended. That should be a period. This matter will not be on the ballot as of now. So we're just gonna cross that out.
And it should be, this matter will not be on the ballot.
No, if that whole part can come out, we just cross that out and leave it as resolution was amended.
Okay. Okay. I'll entertain a motion to amend the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Well,
I'll second.
motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Now, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes from July 14th.
I'll motion to accept the minutes.
Motion made
I'll second.
and second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. County Commissioner, Mr. Brad Benson.
Thank you very much, everyone. Lovely evening. So, we're probably limited at this point. So, I'd like to start out, Mr. Nichols. Commissioner Leininger is evidently a big fan of your programming because he quoted from some of your video from last month's meeting. So, big shout out to Commissioner Leininger and for watching this proceedings. So, just to follow up with the amendment that you made, just to clarify that that $15.5 million bond proposal will appear unless the request is withdrawn on the August 2026 ballot. So that is the plan right now. So just for clarification.
Has that paperwork been submitted?
No, because that probably won't even be done. And, I mean, Lifeway thinks they get a commercial loan. Who knows at this point? So we're a year away from August. So, but that is where it stands right now. That the plan is Board of Commissioners will submit the language to put that in front of them, unless the request is withdrawn. So, all right. So, kind of hand in hand with that is the county's move to 25 Care Drive, or where do we put the district court? If you are a fan of our YouTube channel, you know that one of our judges came to the Board of Commissioners meeting and kind of harangued the commissioners and said, where the heck are you going to put my court? Because you sold the building, so which we did. So tomorrow we are going to have discussion about where district court will go. And there will be a resolution offered up that the destination will be 25 Care Drive, which is the current home of Lifeways, in the upper floor of that building. That is the most likely spot. It has the space and is appropriately located. We wouldn't have to build a new building, and the county already owns that one. So that means, what do we do in regards to, because we also have continued discussion of Lifeways. And we did have at Board of Commissioners meeting a proposed lease with Lifeways to give them a new lease for 5 years with 2 5-year renewals for a total of 15 years. Now, one of the provisions of that is that either party can get out of that lease with a 90-day written notice. So if Lifeways were to get the new facility built, they can give 90 days notice to vacate, but it really doesn't give the county a viable timeline because we have to get out of the building that we currently own. So our facilities committee last week did have a discussion with Hillsdale Renaissance that owns that building. That information will be presented at tomorrow's meeting. But the numbers that I gave you last month are not very far off from what the rent they are proposing. And they are proposing that rent would start in order to extend our lease for 5 years from the 1st of January of 2026 would be for about $150,000 a year. $10 a square foot, building totals about 15,000 square feet by their numbers. So, however, as an interesting sidebar to that, they offered an incentive, which I will let you watch the YouTube video to see what that will be. But there is an incentive to lower our rent. It's kind of an interesting one, not one that this commissioner favors. But at the end of the day, even if we rent that building, we still have to solve the problem of where we put district court. Because if we lease it for 5 years and start paying rent on it in January, first of all, we can figure out where we're going to get an extra $150,000 a year. Because that is not in our budget. The other question is, what do we do at the end of 5 years? Or what do we do when Lifeways vacates their current building? Because we still have to remodel that. So, and we have spent, we will probably see very shortly, those architectural drawings and engineering drawings that we spent about $120,000 to have created for that proposed space. So we've spent a bunch of money on architect for that building, but we still really haven't formally said that's where we're going. So stay tuned for tomorrow. That will be some very, very interesting discussion. But we have to figure this out because Judge Syverson is not going to report out the parking lot. I can absolutely guarantee you that that is not going to happen. A couple updates on the 800 megahertz radio system. I do know that we are, right as we stand right now, we are getting the school radios in all the public school buildings in Hillsdale County. Those are being installed now so that we don't disrupt once the school year starts. I did see one of the company's trucks out at one of the charter schools today. So I do know that that is happening. And we should see actual work begin on the towers probably early part of fall. Moving dirt, basically they'll do all three, one right after the other. So Litchfield here in Adams Township and down in Woodbridge Township, they'll basically do them one after the other. Site work, move off of that, move on to the next one, and then actual tower erection. And we are hoping by November to have towers up in the air. So that does continue to move forward. I have some site plans for all of those, some fancy architectural drawings, and we are continuing to move forward. We also do have for all the fire, police, and EMS agencies to see physically. We have samples of the vehicle radios out of Central Dispatch. And so a number of fire, I spoke with Dallas from North Adams Fire Department last week at their village council meeting, and he had been out to see what those look like, and so they can get an idea of what those radio heads will actually look like, and figure out where to mount them in their trucks. We do have some mounting concerns about what is going to be happening with grant funding for the 2026 year. I see some shakes of heads. You may recall that Representative Wertz was at the Board of Commissioners meeting a few weeks ago, and she cautioned us that prepare for belt tightening. And I have heard some rumblings about our secondary road patrol grant. Potentially could be up in the air. I've heard some rumblings about funding for our veterans counselor. A portion of that is grant funded, and also our drug court. So I'm sure there are probably lots of other places. So that will seriously affect our ability to provide services if any of that funding. And of course that kind of circles back to what happened at the federal level with cuts of Medicaid. Michigan is pretty committed to the Medicaid expansion that took place about 10 years ago. And so consequently with a number of those folks coming off of the federal Medicaid, as far as the feds paying for that, the state of Michigan is scrambling for a way to make up the difference on that. So that will be interesting, but expect between now and October 1st, when the new state fiscal year begins, that there may be some jaw dropping and scratching of heads. So stay tuned on that. Tomorrow we will have a resolution that, to my understanding, will have another couple $100,000 over the next 17 years of opiate settlement money. We are starting to try and wrap our minds around the idea that with the limitations that are on those dollars, that they are somewhat limited in how we can spend them. So we have to parse some of those money out. I know we have an educational program that will be going out in schools. We have an event that is planned through the county health department. And so consequently, we do have some of those funds going out, but we are trying to play it very, very cautious because we are sure that at some point there will be an audit of how those, and to make sure that they were spent exactly as the settlement states. So, but it will be interesting to see how that. And I'm sure Mr. Klein will probably have an update for you on the road projects in the county, but just a reminder, if you do use M99 South, that about a week from today, that road will shut down, as in there will not be passage through it between Burt and Camden roads, and so it will detour over Bird Lake Road, come back down to Camden, and so do plan on some delays if you have to go south towards Pioneer or the Ohio Turnpike. And that concludes my report for the evening, unless you have questions.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Now, what did we sell the district court for?
I believe we sold that building for right around $300,000.
So we sold it for $300,000.
Yep.
And we're gonna rent it for 5 years at $150,000.
Yeah.
That's $750,000.
Yeah.
So we're gonna give them
Double, more than double.
We're gonna give them $450,000 in a building. Does that make sense?
Doesn't make a lick of sense to me, but you'll recall that I was outvoted on that resolution to sell that building, 3 favoring and 2 opposed, myself and Commissioner Wiley.
It doesn't seem very fiscal, does it?
No, it is not fiscally responsible at all. So, of course, we have one commissioner who still believes that we can place all 3 courts into the historic courthouse. We can't if we put about a 15,000 square foot addition. I mean, we've been told that by an architect from the National Association of State Court. That's the only way they'll fit it.
No, just for my
Yeah.
information. Probate court,
Yes,
does that operate every day?
yes,
It
Yeah.
does. And circuit court and probate are in the big court.
yeah. Well, circuit court and probate, yes, are in the historic courthouse.
And there's no way that they can split use until we can get something done, so we don't
just-
have to pay rent?
Scheduling is just almost impossible to do, because one of the things is it's not like that they have a fixed schedule, but attorneys file motions and they delay them. And so then you plan on using the court for that purpose, and then you have a motion that delays it, and so then you have to reschedule, so then you have to fit it in. So it's not particularly practical, and those rooms are in use on a daily basis. And then we also have juvenile court, and juvenile court, they actually hold hearings down in the basement, in the probate court, the magistrate, referee magistrate, they hold those in his office. So yes, they have stuff going on literally every day in those spaces. So,
That was my question.
and then, we have a previous commissioner had expressed the idea about, well, why can't we do night court? Well, the problem is we have a limited amount of staff, okay? It's not like we have a day court and a night court, all right? If you were to do it at night, okay, that means your staff would have to be there at night, which means they wouldn't be there through the day to accept people who want to bring filings in, people who want to pay fines. So, just logistically, that idea doesn't work. It's a mess.
Doesn't sound like it's gonna work at all.
It is a mess, and it's going to be, the reason why we sold the annex building is our facilities manager told us we would have to spend $1 million on that building to make it usable. As it looks right now, the $1 million would have been, and we didn't have to pay it out all along. I mean, we could have done it in phases, okay? Now we're going to have to spend probably $3.5 million to renovate a space. So, Commissioner Engel and I looked at a building in the industrial park, we rented $1 million a building, and and we would have easily spent another $4 or $5 million renovating that space. So, really nice building, nice, clean, free span, but you know, the cost of doing anything, cost of construction is just off the wall. So,
Okay, in line with that, so does it, my question is, now that the commissioners feel that they're gonna get the 15.5 mil, they're gonna submit language to put it on,
right.
does that make sense to waste a year?
Well, that's the next elections.
Well, I know, but you had a petition,
Mhm.
2,400 people.
Right.
You have 5 commissioners.
Right.
Okay, you said you got 100 emails. If we give, everybody double it, we say you all got 1,000 emails. And with the public comments of 90 minutes, if everyone had a minute, and you had 2 days of that,
Mm-hmm.
that's 1,180 people.
And we had more than that who signed a petition to put it on the
Well,
ballot.
and I said the 2,400.
Right, yeah.
But first of all, there's no way to know if they're one and the same.
Right.
I just question kicking this down the road for another year. That's my only concern. Because prices are just gonna go up.
Absolutely no doubt. I mean, we saw that in the 800 megahertz radio project.
Are we looking at taxpayers to cover the amount that you're gonna pay in rent? Is there gonna be an increase someplace down the road for the people?
We have no way to increase taxes. All right? We are at the standard.
Find money to pay $750,000.
The answer is the same as the exercise that you will do when it comes around budget time. All right? You look at your total number of dollars you have, and you look at all your asks, and then you make decisions on those things that you can fund. And so, that will be the answer is that, our budget is accountable, okay? So we are asking Commissioner Weil and I just spent a few hours on Friday putting together the Board of Commissioners budget for next year, our budget request, and also the budget for the Office of Medical Examiner, because that falls under Board of Commissioners as well. And so we will submit those 2 requests along with all the other departments in county government, and then the budget committee, which is Commissioner Leininger and Commissioner Ingalls, they will then put those together with the help of the finance director, Derek Ringman, and present a budget to the full Board of Commissioners. So what that means, if we are going to incur that, but right now we don't have to, because we have an agreement in place right now. It just means we've got to be out somewhere near the end of 2028. So.
And you have to be built up. You have to have it built up by 2028. I mean, you have to move.
It'll take us a year. So we need to have Lifeways out of the current, or we have to have an alternative.
The Lifeways already has a piece of property.
They own their piece of property, yes.
Yeah, out by the old road.
Right, yep.
And they make, if I'm not mistaken, don't they have a budget of what, 25 million a year?
Like 150 or 120 million, yes.
Million?
Yes.
Somebody ought to be building a house.
And the county budget is what?
Approximately $15 million.
They have a budget 10 times the county.
At least 8.
So what would be the legal leverage to get them out?
Their lease is up. Right now, they don't have a lease. Their lease ended at the end of March. And we've had a couple of proposals. We had a proposal that their director signed that was presented to the Board of Commissioners. And that was rejected. And that would have given them a 1-year extension from March, so April through the end of March of next year, and then 6 months of month to month. And that proposal was rejected. So then we had a 5-year proposal that was presented by Commissioner Collins, but our facilities director had not seen that lease. And he is the one who is supposed to negotiate all our leases. So he had not seen that lease, and our facilities committee had not seen that lease. So it was referred back to that committee. And I believe that, we will have something that will come back. It will not come back at our meeting tomorrow, it will come back at our second meeting of the month.
Thanks, Brad.
May I comment? I heard that Judge Stiverson was talking about some kind of legal action,
Mhm.
because is it possible they can find a legal issue here that, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, you have 3 years to move, and you give a 5-year lease. I mean, just on the face of it, doesn't make any sense. I mean, is there something they can do?
So, I mean, we have to provide a space for the courts, all right?
Right,
That's an obligation, all right? And so, yes, the judge or judges, the 3 of them, could sue the Board of Commissioners. That's happened in the past. There was actually a case, 2nd District Court versus Hillsdale County Board of Commissioners. I believe it happened back in the 1970s. That went to the Michigan Supreme Court. And it talks about funding at an adequate level, all right? That was about funding courts. So yes, they could sue us, and then the problem is, we have to pay the judge's legal bill, and we have to pay our own legal bill to defend.
Well, I'm just wondering if they can somehow reverse this ridiculous decision that was made to offer this additional 5-year lease.
Well, we have, there's been no acceptance of that right now, so, and my counsel is, no, we don't give them a 5-year lease. That's probably what you'll hear me say, at either this meeting or the following. So, we need to take care of the county's needs first.
Absolutely.
And the county's needs are, we need to have space for a district court. We gotta figure that out. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we gotta figure it out.
Okay, anybody else?
Brad.
Anybody have anything else? Thanks, Brad.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna head to Ransom, take care of it. Thank you.
Mr. Klein.
Thank you for letting me make my report. As Brad said about M99, we got an email from the drain commissioner, and M99 Camden Road project has been delayed to start at August 18th because the contractor was delayed. And so that detour will be Bird Lake to Camden, and the completion date is November the 14th for that project. And starting today, Camden and Burt Road is closed because the drain commissioner is going to be doing work on that for 1 week. So that road is closed. And starting today, Concord Road between US 12 and Sterling, Herring Road between M49 and Cronk, and Jonesville between Squires and McLean is a federal grant that they're grinding the road up and repaving it. And that has I think that's completion date next month. Brown Road, here in Adams Township, the paver patching has been done on that, and it will be chipped and fog sealed the same time they do North Adams Road. That's to be determined yet, because they're still doing paver patching in other parts of the county. They haven't switched over to doing the seal coating in that. The second round of mowing started today in the county, and Brian will start August the 18th for the townships that got a second round of brine. And the graders will be coming to regrade all the roads, gravel roads, that, in the townships that get brine. And then we were doing work, culvert replacement all through the county. I think what's the other Hillsdale radio station, 99.5, the Dale? Yeah. If you listen to that, the road commission puts a report on there, plus on their Facebook page. And I post them on Facebook all the time too, for people that are friends with me and that, so they share them. So so that you know where we're doing work, so you don't run into a detour or construction site. Other than that, that's about all I got to report. Anybody got any questions, concerns? We're doing good then? All right, thank you.
Thanks. Moving on. Public comment, remember, 3 minutes. Keep your comments to the board, do not comment amongst yourselves. Be polite. Who's first?
No comment.
You have it.
Well, I got something I wanted to discuss, seeing as how I'm on the planning commission now. I go to other townships that are zoned and their planning commission gives a report, or they have a written. And I guess we talked about it at last Monday's meeting, and we'd kind of like to see a report, just so that we know what's going on, permit-wise, what buildings is going up.
You want a copy of the compliances? Speaking of that, I apologize for that.
I don't know if we need the compliance. Well, yeah, we probably would. Just a report. Because I know there's 2 other townships that I go to for the road commission that are zoned, and their zoning administrator gives a report every month. Some months he doesn't give a report because there's no permits or nothing going on.
Anybody else? Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. I don't see any new business.
No, we have new business, there's no old business.
Oh, that's old. Jeez, I'm looking back on it. Old business, we have a new business. Approval of PA 116 for Tim Guy. You have a copy of it in front of you. So what I need is a motion to approve.
It's a new presentation.
The PA 116 for Tim Guy.
I motion to approve it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? All opposed? Let's do a roll call vote.
Jason,
Yes.
Dan, or David?
Yes.
I'm yes. Randy?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on, that was the only new business. Treasurer's note.
A couple of things, I'll start with the website, the board approved that last month, and I got hold of your guys, and Robert's got he sent all you guys an email, a link to it, so you get a chance to take a look at that. It's just like a basic format, he just needs some data from us to put in there, like their different addresses and links and stuff, so just take a look at it, and give it back to me, or Robert, and let me know, yay, what you think it may need, so we can get that up here next, hopefully next 2 or 3 weeks, hopefully we can get that knocked out, or at least get that cleaned up and put our ordinance out there and different things and links to the county, different things, and just, work on it piecemeal board wise. So please take a look at that. And for that is my treasurer's report for the month, per se. So you have that also.
Okay. Moving on to the bills. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Accept the treasurer's report. I need a motion to accept treasurer's report.
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Bills. You all have a copy of them? You look through them?
we went piece by piece, read it all, so we knew what we had. We had our guide with us, and David and I went to the basement. So David's working on some tax stuff. We've got everything box labeled, organized, and I think we decided that David and I had both talked to Key Opportunities. And Key Opportunities, if you take a pickup load over there, then they weigh you, okay, full empty like any other dump with the truck. But it's I want to say it's 0.235 or something is what it would be per pound, which is cheaper than the one we had looked at before, and they do shred it all. And that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, supervisor zoning notes, okay, again, if you guys want those compliance permits, sure, we can give you a copy of them. We have to be careful though, make sure, information stays within the township.
Yep.
And then, we would also, you guys are giving us copies of minutes each month. So we need to know what's going on with you guys also. So if we can stay transparent in that. Other than that, I really don't have anything other than, I appreciate what the board's doing. I hope we can continue to keep going. Public comment, the last one. This is a big one.
I would just ask on your last comment, why would it need to stay within the township? Anybody can ask for public records, and that's public records.
Right. It doesn't, I think you're misconstrued.
Maybe.
If you, I don't know how, without getting myself in trouble here, like answering this. And I'll ask permission to answer it. Okay. We don't have to keep it within the township. I mean, as far as you want to get copies of it, you're welcome to come and look at copies. You want printed copies, we can arrange to get printed copies. But when we give them the copies that go to the planning commission, it's not like, we want them to give it to Joe on the side of the street over here.
Okay, I guess I follow your line of thinking there. So just not to, even though it's public comment, not to just, once it's given to another entity in the township, not to let it out willy-nilly.
Yeah, willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
That's a good term, willy-nilly.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else for public comment? Oh,
Yeah, at the last meeting, Mark brought up that the case against Stephanie Scott has been going on, and I don't know what, there was another court hearing today, but on that meeting back then, I don't remember the date, there were 3 things that came up from Brader, the election guy, that they were cross-examining. One of them was he had issued a letter to the clerks in Michigan for them to destroy the electronic poll book data. He was questioned on this and asked if that was legal. He was reluctant, but he admitted that it was not. The clerks are required to keep those national federal election information for 22 months, and that includes both electronic and paper. So he did an illegal thing there. Second, the discharge of Clerk Scott from her duties came into question because that's in effect discharging her from her position as clerk. So the question was, is that a violation of how a clerk can be discharged? And only the governor can do that. And he admitted that that's true. So there's some legal issue there as to whether Stephanie should have been discharged from her duties without going through the governor. Third, the issue of she's been accused of giving out election information by having a third party investigate, do a forensic study. So he was questioned on what that was about and what statute or what law or whatever covered that she did something illegal by having a forensic examination done. There is no statute preventing that. She had every legal right to have a third party investigate those election results. So there was nothing she did there that was, at this point in time, this case hasn't been resolved, but he could not state a legal reason that she could not have a third party investigate those election results. So I think these are pretty important things that came up. Again, the whole case hasn't been finished, but I think the township should consider that they should have been a little more sympathetic to what Stephanie Scott was up to. Maybe been taking a little more interest in exactly what the real law was on what she was doing. It's sad that it's gotten to this point. It's been how many years that this has been hanging over her head and really the township and the county. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that.
Thank you. Any more public comment? Hearing none, may I entertain a motion to adjourn.
A motion.
Motion made. And supported.